welcome to my next video session. So in this session, I'm going to discuss the basic programs in C language and how I can change those programs into functions. The same programs can be executed using the concept of functions. Okay, so here I am going to discuss about how to find out sum of natural numbers, how to find out product of natural numbers, then how to find out the factorial of a given number, then how to find out the factorial of a given number using functions, then how to display Fibonacci series, how to display Fibonacci series using the concept of functions. So these are all the things I am going to discuss in this video. So let us see first how to find out the sum of natural numbers. Means the numbers that begin with 1, 2, 3, 4 are called natural numbers, right? So sum of natural numbers up to n we need to find out. Okay, so this is the program written here. See, clear screen. Enter the number means up to how many what number you want to find out a natural number. Say for example up to 10 means n value is equal to 10. So that n value you have to read. First scanf statement, n value you have to read. Okay. Then you have to use for loop here, because we know that I have to find out sum of natural numbers up to 10 times. So when we know in advance how many times we have to execute body of the loop, we always go for loop. So here, before, very important point you have to remember is, before finding out sum of some sequence of numbers, always you have to initialize one variable to 0. So here I am initializing variable sum into 0 in the beginning. So later on I am going to add the next number to this and store back in this. Next add the number to this, store back in this. Like this I continue the process till my last number, that is n. Okay, so that's why first you have to read the value of n. Okay, let us say it is 5. Then you have before that you must have initialized sum is equal to 0. Okay, so that's why you have to read n, sum should be initialized to 0 and n has to be declared. I am using for loop here. Loop variable is I, so loop variable I has to be declared. Okay, so enter the number scanf n. For I as and a value 1, I is less than or equal to n, I plus plus means natural numbers start from 1, no? So that's why right from 1 till I value is less than or equal to n. See, every time we are changing it by we are incrementing it by 1 and we are adding it to sum. So that's why this is my body of the loop, sum as and a value sum plus I. So this is the main logic to find out sum of natural numbers. So the final sum is available in sum. So you have to print the sum is equal to percentage d. In place of percentage d, sum. So if you want, you can trace this and it will be, you will understand it better. Okay. Say for example here, see declaration n is declared. Okay, memory location is reserved for n. Then I is declared. Then sum is initialized to 0. So initially sum should be initialized to 0. So these are the declaration. Clear screen. Enter the number. So for clarification purpose, for tracing, to make the tracing easy, I will just take 5. Means sum of natural numbers up to 5. So what will be the sum up to 5? 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5. So that will be 1 plus 2, 3, 3 plus 3, 6, 6 plus 4, 10, 10 plus 5, 15 should be my final sum. So let us see, in this sum after tracing there should be 5. So we shall execute the for loop. For I as and value 1, is I less than or equal to n? Yes, I value 1, n value 5. Yes means execute body. Condition is true, so means execute body of the loop. Only one statement, sum as and value sum plus I. Means sum is equal to, sum is 0, 0 plus I is 1. So this becomes what? Now it is 1. Okay. Then I plus plus. Now I becomes how much? 1 plus 1? It is 2. Then condition, control comes back to condition. Is I less than or equal to n? Yes. I is 2, n is equal to 5. Yes means true, means execute body of the loop. Sum is equal to sum plus I. Sum is 1 already. 1 plus I is 2. So 1 plus 2 it is 3. Then last statement, after last statement of the body, control comes back to I plus plus. So I plus plus means now I value becomes 3. Okay. Then sum as and I value sum condition. Is I less than or equal to n? Yes, 3 is less than or equal to 5. True. Execute body. Sum as and I value sum plus I. Now sum becomes 3 plus 3. 6 will be the new value of sum. Then I plus plus. Now I becomes 4. Then condition is I less than or equal to n. I is 4, 5, n is 5. Yes, condition is true. Execute body of the loop. So sum is equal to sum plus I, means 6 plus I value is 4. So it will be 10. Then last statement, no. So I control goes back to I plus plus. Now I becomes 4 plus 1, 5. Then condition is I less than or equal to n. I is 5, n is equal to 5. True. Both are same. True. S means sum is equal to sum plus I. Sum is already 10. 10 plus I is 5. So it will be 15. Okay. Then last statement, no. Control comes back to I plus plus. I becomes now 6. Condition is I less than or equal to n. I is 6. N is 5. No. Condition is false. Control comes out of the for loop. When the control comes out of the for loop, it will display the sum in new line. Backslash n means in new line. It will display the sum of the sum is equal to, in place of percentage d, see here format string close inverted comma comma, variable name. In place of percentage d variable, we are using one variable, one format character, one variable sum. So what is present value of sum? 15. So sum is equal to 15 will be your output. So this is how you can trace the program. So let us execute the program and see what will be our result. Okay. So this is the program written. Same program is copied here. So let us compile it, run it. Now enter the number. I will give 5. What should be my answer? 15. Sum is equal to 15. If you want, you can run it once again. Sum, enter the number up to 10. So your answer should be 55. So sum is equal to 55. So this is how, if you want to run, you can run it. Sum of natural numbers up to 100. Yes, you can give 50, 50. So this is how we can find out sum of natural numbers. Now let us change it to product of natural numbers. So program to find, instead of sum, what I will do? Product of natural numbers. So whenever you have to find out product of natural numbers, you have to initialize the variable to what is called 1. Here for sum we have initialized to 0. Now we have to initialize it to 1. Instead of sum, you have to just assign value 0, you have to make it 1. Rest everything will be same. Now see, run it. Product up to 5. So let us take, for simplicity, product up to 3. You will have 1 into 2 into 3 will be answer 6. Sorry, enter the number 3. So it should be 6. So here it should be, and plus should be changed to multiplication symbol. Plus should be changed to multiplication symbol. That's all. So for simplicity you take 3, answer is 6. Okay. 4 you take, answer should be 24. 5 you take, 24 into 5, 120. So this is how you can find out. Instead of sum, you have to just, the product should be, no. So you change the program here. So instead of sum, to be meaningful, okay, to be semantically correct, you make it product. That's all, product. If you have taken there as product, so this should be product assigned value, product star I, product star I. So here instead of sum, you can write product assigned value, percentage d, in place of percentage d, what is computed? PROD is computed. So this is the program. See, compile it. See, product, enter the number 5. The product is equal to 120. So this is how you can find out the product of natural numbers. Okay. So you can observe here that product of natural numbers is nothing but factorial of a given number, because natural numbers up to 120 is what? Up to 5 is what? 120. What is factorial of 5? 120. What is factorial of 3? 6. Okay. Factorial of 3 is 6. 1 into 2 into 3, 6. Factorial of 4, 1 into 3, 2 into 3 into 4 means 24. Factorial of 5, 1 into 2 into 3 into 4 into 5, or 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1. Means it is nothing but, factorial is nothing but what? It is nothing but a product of natural numbers. So we can call it as product of natural numbers. Program to find product of natural numbers, we can call it as program to find factorial of a given number. So I'll just change the comment, factorial of, to find the factorial to find the factorial of a given number. Factorial of product of number is nothing but product of natural numbers is nothing but factorial of a given number. So that's just comment I have changed. So here instead of product I am finding out factorial, just variable name I am changing, rest everything will be same. Okay, factors and value 1. Enter the number of whose factorial has to be to be calculated. So scanf n for I s and value 1, I is less than or equal to n, I plus plus. Now instead of product what I have taken? Factors and value fact star I. Factors and value fact star I. Then here I will take the factorial is equal to percentage d. What is we have computed? Fact. That's all. This is the program. Control F2. Enter the number. Say for example I want to find out 3 factorial. See, factorial is equal to 6. Once again run it. Enter the number 5. Factorial is equal to 120. If you want factorial of 5 is equal to 120, you can change your output appearance. Instead of writing just the factorial is equal to 120, you can make it factorial of 5 is equal to 120. Modify the respective output statement. Factorial is equal to 120 printf statement. Say factorial of, here I'll write it, factorial of 5 is equal to, 5 means you should not write 5, you have to write percentage d. Okay, is equal to percentage d. Okay, for first percentage d what should be printed? 5. Where is 5 stored? 5 is stored in n. So that's why for first one n, comma, for second one factorial value computed. So this is what your program. So now enter the number 5. See the output, the factorial of 5 is equal to 120. So this is how you can write the factorial of a given number. It's nothing but product of natural numbers. So what is important here? This is the logic. For I s and value 1, I is less than or equal to n, I plus plus factors and value fact star I, which is nothing but a product of sequence of numbers. That's why one variable should be initialized to, fact is initialized to 1. If you have to find out product, you take variable product as and value 1. If you have to find out sum of natural numbers, take it sum as and value 0. Here make it plus. So this is what factorial of a given number, okay, without using function. Now let us modify the same program using functions. We have discussed the concept of user defined functions. So what is a function? Subprogram. What is a function? Subprogram. So you can modify it into a function like this. You see, you can modify it. I am going to write it as a function. Okay, so first I will read the number here, enter the number, scanf n. So what I will do, see how I am going to changing it to a function program. Just observe here, I am going to write a function. Okay, so here once this is the main logic of the function. Once I read the number, enter the number, one scanf n. Once I read the number, so this this is the main logic. I will write in function. Just I will remove here. See, before that, what you have to do? You have to write the function. So define the function. Function has to return a value, integer. Let us say name of the function. I will take factorial. Factorial is my function name. Parenthesis. So I will pass n here. So that's why to receive actual. See, once you read n, I will call this function. So that's why your formal parameter should be integer to receive the value of n. So I will take m, integer m. Okay. So m is the formal parameter. Means value of n will be copied into m if you call this function. What is the function name? Factorial. What is this returning back? It is returning back integer. Okay. Now, so I have told you this is like a subprogram. So use pair of parentheses. So within pair of parentheses you have to include the body. Within pair of parentheses you have to include the body. So what is my body? Main logic. This is the main logic of factorial. So I am going to remove from the main here. I am removing it. I am just pasting it. Paste here. Same this one I have brought here into the factorial function. Okay. Now I will call this function. So I will call this function. Okay, right. Okay. And now see here you observe here. Now my declarations here in this function factorial. Of course, m is declared as integer. I am using loop variable I. I am using fact here. Means these variables should be local to this factorial. That's why you have to define here. This variable should be declared here. So which one? Loop variable I am using. So integer. Loop variable I am using I. I is my loop variable, comma. Fact I have to initialize it to 1. Okay. Fact I have to initialize it to 1. Okay. Now see here, if I declared I and fact here, they are not required here. That's why I am going to remove here. Same thing, I and fact, which are used in the for loop body, I am removing here. Okay, these two things I am removing here. I am just pasting here. Okay, so instead of that, for simplicity, I can remove this. See here, just see here. I have removed the logic of the factorial. So the variables used in the logic of the factorial also I am going to remove from the main. Which are they? I and factors and a value. I am going to remove them. Not necessary there. So just they are necessary in the function now. So I am going to use here. Okay. There is of type what? Integer. So you declare them as integer, right? Integer I factors and a value 1. Now see the logic completes here. Variable I is declared for I s and a value 1. I is less than or equal to 10. I plus plus. So here n value once you read the value, you have to call this function factorial. You have to call this factorial with n value. See, this is function call. Call the function factorial n. See, control comes to factorial. N value will be copied, actual parameter n value will be copied into formal parameter m. Okay. Now integer I, comma factors and value. Now for I s and value 1, I is less than. Now n is copied into m. So that's why you can make it m. I plus plus factors and value fact star I. See here fact is initialized to 1. Okay. So this is the main logic I have told you. For loop on factors and fact star I. Once the factorial is available in fact, computed in fact, you return the value of that fact. I'll use return statement. Return the computed value. What is the computed value here? Fact. Return fact. Okay. Now see, return statement should be always last statement in your factorial function. So this is the function defined. Return statement is the last statement. So computed value is returned, fact value is returned. Where it comes? Here you are reading the factorial. Okay, here you are reading. So the computed value, so suppose n value 5, 120 comes back here, 120 comes back here. Where it should be stored? That's why you have to take one variable here. You have to take one variable. You take one variable result. Result assigned a value factorial. Means 120 comes back. That should be stored in one memory location called result. Okay. Now result is the new variable, new what is called symbol. So that has to be declared. Result. You have to declare the result and terminate it by semicolon. Right. Once fact is returned here, stored in result, you have to print the value of result. So factorial of percentage d is equal to percentage d comma n comma. Now it is not fact. Fact value is copied from the function into result. So you have to make it result. You have to make it result. Okay. So it is not fact. So this is your function program. So you get ch end of the program. Right. So this is the factorial of a program, factorial of a given number using functions. Let us see. No errors. Run. Enter the number. I'll write 6. See, factorial of 6 is equal to 720. Okay. Now once again run it. Give 4. Factorial of 4 is equal to 24. So this is how you can write the program to find out factorial of a given number using function concept. So remember here, same logic, just main logic what was there, I just shifted it to the function. I defined the function, I have given a name to the function called factorial because fact already is used. So So factorial, and factorial no return fact. What is the fact? Data type integer. So return type is integer here. So here I am calling the function. Once you read value of n, I have to call the function. So fact of factorial of n, name of the function is factorial. N value you send it. That will be copied into m. It has to be declared. So formal parameter. Now integer for loop you are using loop variable. Factor send a value 1. Whenever you have to find out product of set of numbers, you have to initialize variable to 1. Then this is the logic. For I send value 1, I is less than or equal to m, I plus plus. Fact is equal to fact star, return fact. So that return value is copied into result, print the value, right? So this is how you can find out factorial of a given number using functions. Next, we shall see how to find out how to display a Fibonacci series. Display Fibonacci series. Okay. So what is meant by Fibonacci series? So Fibonacci series is nothing but a series of numbers where you will get the next number by adding previous two numbers. That is what called Fibonacci series. So you are getting the next number by adding previous two numbers, means the first two numbers should have been defined, and we have defined them as 0 and 1. First number is 0, second number is 1. So next number is obtained by adding 0 and 1. So next number is obtained by adding 1 and 1, 2. So like that, that is what Fibonacci series. Okay. See, here say Fibonacci series how I am going to get. First number is defined as 0. Next, first two numbers are defined as 0 and 1. So next number is obtained by adding previous two numbers. Means previous two numbers are 0 and 1. Next number is 1. Next number is obtained by adding previous two numbers. So 1 plus 1, 2. Next number is obtained by adding previous two numbers. 1 plus 2, 3. Next 5. Next 7. Like that it goes on. Up to required number of terms you can display or you can generate the Fibonacci numbers. Okay. So what we will do, so we will take the logic here now. We shall consider the logic. What we will do here, first number, see what is our first number? 0. First number is taken as 0. Then second number, see we will consider our second number as 1. So second number as 1. And the next, so you can take this one next. Instead of term you can make it next. Next number you can obtain by adding previous two numbers. So next number you can add, this is my next. So next number you can add by adding previous two numbers. So up to how many terms you want, you have to read that value. So that's what here you see. Scanf n means up to how many terms. N value decides up to how many terms you want. Here I have displayed up to 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 terms I have displayed. So what will be the value of n? 7. In this case it is 7. Okay. So let me take up to 5 only. 6 only. So what is the value of n now? N value is 6. So you have to give input through n, through keyboard. N value is 6. So n should be declared. Okay. And we know that first is 0, second is 1. So that's why I am initialized. First is 0, second is equal to 1. So next number I have to compute. That's why I have taken one more variable next. Okay. So read the value of n, scanf n, preceded by printf, enter number of terms. Then for my understanding purpose, just I will display here printf Fibonacci series, means in my next line it will display Fibonacci series. So backslash n means blank lines you will get. Now printf %d %d. See here printf %d %d. So let it be my this one. Let us trace this one. See, let us go on tracing it. N is declared here. So n is equal to I is declared. Memory is reserved for I is equal to. Then first is equal to what? First is equal to what? 0. Then second is equal to what? Second is equal to what? 1. Then next is equal to memory reserved. See, for this declaration I have taken. So n, I, first is equal to 0, second is equal to next. Clear screen. So first you have to read the value of n. Let me take n value is equal to how much? 6. Means I want to generate Fibonacci series up to 6 terms like this. Okay. right? So read the value of n through keyboard, it gives 6, so n value is 6. Now it will display Fibonacci series is, so output it will display new line, it will display Fibonacci series is, whatever is there that will be displayed. Then backslash and backslash means control comes to next line. Okay. Then printf percentage d blank space percentage d, in first percentage d first comma, in second percentage d second. So in first percentage d first value, what is the content of first? So 0 is printed. Then two blank lines. Then second percentage d, in place of second percentage d second variable. What is your second variable? SECOND, which contains what? 1. So 1 is displayed here. 1 is displayed. Okay. Then now the next print control is here only. Next print control is here only. I have not used any backslash n. You observe here. I have not used any backslash n. So print control is in the same line. Now see, I am taking for loop. I have to compute. I have to compute the next number. Okay. So now I have to compute 0 and 1 printed. Now I have to print this one. Okay. So to print this one, I have to compute it first by adding previous two numbers. Where are my previous two numbers stored? So this number 0 is stored in first variable, 1 is stored in second variable. So these two should be added and this will be my next variable. So this process has to be repeated until 6 terms, up to here until 6 terms. That's why I have taken for loop. For loop. For IS and L already two numbers are printed here, 0 and 1 printed. Also out of, so I have to print starting from here. So this I will take from 2 for IS and L 2. I am not taking from 0, remember here. So now these 4 terms should be displayed. That's why I have taken from 2 for IS and value 2. I is less than or equal to n. What is value of n? 6. Okay. So I have to repeat this process. Next number should be obtained, calculated. So next number I will take it as next, because I have declared variable as next here. So next ascend a value, what? Previous two numbers. What are my previous two numbers? 0 and 1. 0 is stored in first, 1 is stored in second. So that's what this line. Next ascend a value, first plus second. So what will be your next now? Next is 0, first is 0, second is 1. So what is your next? 1. 0 plus 1, 1. Then once you compute the next, you print it. So your print control is here only. Print control is here only. Printf percentage d, in place of percentage d, what you have to print? Next. You computed next, no? So you have to print next. Now what is the content of next? 1. So means here it will print 1. Okay. Now see, 0 1 1 printed. Next you have to print 2. So in order to compute 2, now this should become second, this should become first, isn't it? So 2 is obtained by adding previous two terms. So this should be second and this should be made first. So that's what I have written here. Previous first value should be made as second, means content of second should be copied into first, and content of second in second, content of turn not turn, content of next should be copied. Next should be copied. So now see, first ascend value second. So first means what? 0 is erased. Second value, what is the content of second? 1. So first value becomes 1. Then second ascend value next. So second 1 is erased. Next, what is next value? 1. Okay. Then this is end of for loop. So end of for loop is nothing but I plus plus. So I plus plus means now I becomes, I was initially it was what? How much? It was 2. Then is I less than or equal to n? Yes, condition 2 was less than or equal to n. N value is 6. So this body of the loop was executed. Now this, after executing last statement, I plus plus. Now I plus plus means I becomes what? 3. After I plus plus, control comes to this condition. Is I less than n? I value 3. Is it less than n? 6. Yes. True. Execute body of the loop. Now once again body of the loop. Next ascend value first plus second. So next ascend value. What is first? 1. What is second? 1. 1 plus 1, 2. Then printf percentage d next. So print control is here only after 2 blanks. Say here after 2, here 2 blanks are there. After 2 blanks, print control is here only. Okay. What is your next? Next is 2. So what is displayed here? 2. Sorry. 2 is printed here. 2. Then first ascend value second. Your previous first becomes second. What is content of second? 1. Then second becomes next. So second is what? 1. It becomes next. What is next value? 2. Then last statement means I plus plus. Now I becomes 4. Then condition is I less than n. Yes, 4 is less than n value 6. Execute body of the loop. next is equal to first plus second, so next is equal to first plus second, first is 1, second is 2, so next is 3. Then printf next, so here print control is here only 3. Then first becomes second, first becomes second, what is second? Content 2. Second becomes next, so second becomes next, what is next content? 3. Then after last statement I plus plus, I becomes 5. Then condition is I less than n, yes 5 is less than 6, execute body of the loop. So what is body of the loop? Next assigned value first plus second, so next becomes first plus second, first is 2, second is 3, so it is 5. Okay. Then printf next, so here print control is here, next printed, next value is 5. Then first becomes second, first becomes second value how much? 3. Then second becomes next, second value becomes next value is how much? 5. So this is last statement, second assigned value next, so I plus plus, so I becomes what? 6. Then condition is I less than or equal to n, I is 6, n is 6, no, it is false, so control comes out, that will be your end of program. Now you observe here what is the Fibonacci series, 0, 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, see, this is what the Fibonacci series, next number is obtained by previous 2 number. So this is how you can write the program to find out Fibonacci of series up to any number of terms. So let us execute and see what will be the result. Okay. So same program is copied pasted here, same program. Okay, same program. Compile, run it, you will see the output. Enter number of terms, I will get up to 6. See, Fibonacci series is 0. No, instead of 1 it has displayed 1 1, just like mistake is there. That is a system's problem. That particular position 2 digits are getting displayed. See, 0 1 1 plus 0. Here no space is there. 0 plus 1 plus 1 2 3 5 8. Okay. So you take, you rerun it. Enter number of terms you can take up to 8. See, 0 1 1 plus 0 plus 1 1 1 plus 1 2 2 plus 2 plus 1 3 3 plus 2 5 5 plus 3 8 8 plus 5 13 13 plus 8 21. So this is how you can get the Fibonacci series. Okay. So now see here, you can observe same program is copied here. Okay, right. So instead of 2, here it is taken 3, means 0 1, 2 numbers are printed already here. First and second are printed. See, first number, second number are printed. So remaining numbers we have to print starting from third number. No? So that's why I assigned value 3, I is less than or equal to n. So this is the small correction in my previous explanation. Please do make it. Okay. So this is the program you will get. So and rest everything is same. See. So here actually after percentage %d blank space I had left, that's why it was giving problem. So first you have to leave. See here, after printing here print control will be there only, but there should be space to print the next line. So that's why this is the space. Here there is the space. Now you can compile it. Enter number of terms. See, 5 I will take. Now see, 0 0 plus 1 1 1 plus 1 2 2 plus 1 3. Okay, this is how you will get the output. If you want you can run it once again. Enter number of terms. I will take 10 terms. See, 0 1 3 1 1 plus 1 2 2 plus 1 3 3 plus 2 5 5 plus 3 8 8 plus 5 13 13 plus 8 21 21 plus 13 34. So you can count the number of terms. So this is the program, right? So you have to take starting from here third number. Rest everything is same. So here you have to leave the blank space. Here you have to leave the blank space. Okay. So here now instead of 2 you have to make it 3. Okay. And here blank space you have to leave here, not here. Okay. So this is the program to find out to generate the Fibonacci series. So now let us modify the same program using functions. So how to modify the same program using functions? Program to generate Fibonacci series. Okay, so what I will do now, see here, just observe here, after declaration I will write the function. Okay, I will write the function. I will make it as, I'll just make this function as Fibonacci series. Fibonacci name I am changing. I am making this itself as a functions void Fibonacci. Okay, so this function does not require clear screen, so I will remove it. Okay, then you see function does not require get ch, so I am going to remove it, and this is not required. Okay, this is the function. So instead of void, what I have made it as Fibonacci function. Okay, so now I will write this function is not returning anything. So this function is not returning anything, so that's why no return statement is written here. There is no return statement. If at all return statement is there, it should be lost statement. So but my function does not require any return statement. Now what I will do, I will write main now. I will write main. So I'll write main. What is my main? Void main. This is my main function, which contains a pair of parentheses. Okay, this is my main function. So in the body of the main function, what I will do? So I want to clear screen, so I can use CLR SCR for my understanding to make the output clear screen. Okay, so just now I can call the function. I have already written a function called Fibonacci. What is the name of the function? Fibonacci. I send empty control here. I send empty control. Okay, so once the control comes back, that will be my end of program, so I can use get ch for my execution purpose. So this is the function. So what I'm doing here, reading the value of n, declaring, computing, everything I have just done in the Fibonacci function. So here clear screen, call the Fibonacci function, no declarations here in my main function, does not have any declaration. Call the Fibonacci series, compute, empty control comes back, end of the program. Now see what will be my output. One error is there, see type mismatch in read declaration of Fibonacci. What is that error? You see where you have written function, Fibonacci function is written before main function or after main function. Observe here, it is written before main function. So before main function it is written means you have to declare the prototype. Function has to be declared. So here we have not declared any function. See, after preprocessor directive we have not declared function. Here we are supposed to declare function. No? Here we have to declare suppose function called Fibonacci. This has to be declared. So what I will do, just I copy, paste it. At this position I will paste it. So same line I said, what is function prototype or function declaration? It is nothing but function header. This is the function header terminated by semicolon. Here you have to write semicolon. So here there is no semicolon. Okay, right? Now see, this is the function. No errors. Enter number of terms. I will take 6. Fibonacci series is 0, 1, 1, 2, 3, 5. Okay, so up to you can modify your program. Fibonacci series up to n terms. I want to modify my output. See, my output is right now this one. Just Fibonacci series is. I want to display Fibonacci series up to 6 terms is. Okay, so respective printf statement Fibonacci series is, that has to be modified. So Fibonacci series I want up to how many terms? Percentage d terms, not 6 terms here, because 6 may change, next time 8, it may become 8 terms, it may become 10 terms, like that, generalize it. So percentage d terms is, next line it is printed. Okay, so that's why in place of percent now you have to write, after control string you have to write in place of percentage d value of n you are reading now 6, so that value you have to, variable name you have to write. So this will be your program. The enter number of terms, I will write 6. Now Fibonacci series up to 6 terms is. Okay, if you want you can run it up to 12 terms, n value 12 I will take, Fibonacci series up to 12 terms is like that, it goes on, right? So this is what the program to find out Fibonacci series using concept of functions. See here, you can observe here, you have this void main is called calling function, and this Fibonacci is called called function. This is called function. Okay, what type of function it is? We are not passing any parameters. We are not passing any, no parameters. Okay, and no return value. So no return value means here it is void. Function Fibonacci is void. Okay, where are we calling? So this is called function call. This is called function declaration or function prototype, and this is called function definition. This is called function definition. Okay, so this is how you can use the concept of functions. So main is calling function, void Fibo is called function. Okay, right? So repeatedly watch and understand the concepts very clearly. Okay, so thank you for watching this video.